If you're finding yourself consistently being excluded from important meetings, then you have a problem. Because the people that are in the room, they have early access to information, they have FaceTime with decision makers, and they have the ability to show their stuff and essentially interview for the next role in an informal way. And all of those things are critically important to taking your career to the next level. So as someone who has called many executive meetings and been in the room when we decide the attendee list, let me give you a few insights about some of the things that we think about. So one reason you might not get invited is because we just don't know you. We interact with so many people, and if we haven't interacted with you in, I would say, a month for a medium-sized organization, or maybe within the last 2 weeks for a really big organization, you're just not in our mind. And so the way to fix that is to actually follow the methodology that I outlined in my Unlimited Mentors video. So you need to convert all of the decision makers in your organization into micro mentors and systematically get in front of them and have discussions with them on a regular basis. So if you haven't already seen that video, go over there and check it out. The second reason that you might not be included is because we don't think you're going to have much to contribute. Now that can often happen if you are someone that is either quiet all the time in meetings or is always a consensus builder, always trying to make sure that everything is harmonious. Because when we're calling these executive meetings, we're looking for problems, we're looking for innovative solutions, and that requires things to be different. So think about whether or not you are willing to offer different contributions. Now, one way to do that is to, of course, be controversial, to disagree with everybody. And that is one way, and you'll see lots of people that do it that way, and that can be effective, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe you have a different experience from a different place that you worked or a unique role that you've had somewhere. That can be important. Or maybe you just have different information from things that you've read or things like that, but you have to have some sort of unique perspective in order to be considered for these meetings. And the third reason is actually meeting behavior and etiquette. There have been many times where, we had to call a meeting and there maybe was somebody that technically had the expertise or maybe had the perspective that we wanted, but we just didn't want them in the room. I mean, people who ramble and suck up too much time because they can't get to the point, people who are confrontational, those sorts of things can also make us hesitant to include you in the discussion. So those are the three main things. Now, if you find yourself in one of these three issues, you can address it. Work on the micro mentoring, as I said, and watch that other video. If you have not been giving interesting contributions, start with just the one-on-one conversations that you have. Start by doing that with the peer meetings that you have to get more comfortable with it, and then that will get noticed. And then make sure that when you do have opportunities in high-level meetings that you're giving these interesting contributions. And then finally, watch your etiquette. Make sure that you are, you're on time, you're not taking up too much time when you're speaking, you're not controversial, and you're not calling attention or creating some sort of conflict in the discussion. And with those three things, you will quickly find your way to starting to be included.